Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. That's going to be a big day.
20 years.
Wait, am I allowed to start a video with that? Can I show that? Stop, Arthur, you dirty dog. Today, I, Brandon Perna, will reveal which players and teams saw their stock rise and fall with Week 2 of the NFL preseason. Dillon Gabriel made his debut. Caleb Williams got his first action with Ben Johnson, and you keep Arthur Smith the hell away from my wife. One massive stock up. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is walking without the aid of a wheelchair or epidural. He's even got shoulder pads on. The old man lives! The old man lives! More on the Rams later, though. Right now, I need you to subscribe. We're about 5,000 subs away from hitting 775,000, which was the goal before the season. I think we can do it. And thank you to everyone who watched our 48-minute masterpiece that we uploaded yesterday, recapping the 2024 season. I do want to start with the Titans and Falcons. Sadly, there was no Michael Penis Jr.
Something you should probably make your partner show you before you get married.
His penis.
Show us your dick!
Raheem Morris deciding to not play Michael Penix Jr. the same week we got Michael Penis Jr. on TV. That's grounds for getting fired. Raheem Morris, first to get fired this year. God forbid your sophomore quarterback gets some preseason reps. All jokes aside, I really want to see Penix play.
Show us your dick!
Just went a little bit too far.
Stock up, though. First overall pick, Cam Ward. Stock down, Cam Ward's receivers' hands. I'm predicting that Cam Ward is the next Patrick Mahomes based on how much love he got for an incompletion. Ward was just 2 of 7 for 42 yards. Nothing to write home about, but the issues didn't look like a Cam Ward problem. Stock up. Titans rookie tight end Gunnar Helm, who scored a touchdown here. This is a guy I had my eye on in the draft for the Broncos, and he made a pro-level touchdown grab. Helm was Tennessee's leading ball catcher with 4 receptions for 48 yards. Rookie Elik Ayomanor also continues to look explosive, something we haven't said about the Titans receiving game in a decade. Stock down, the Seahawks. Fucking teasing me every preseason with Jake Bobo. Jake Bobo had 2 catches and 2 TDs. Gee, I wonder why you missed the playoffs last year, Seattle. Jake Bobo had just 13 receptions last year, and he is currently on pace to break the receiving touchdown record by 80 TDs. Stock up, Seattle's run game. Damian Martinez, 4.5 yards per carry. George Holani, 9.8 yards per carry. Every Mill's favorite white wine, Zach Charbonnet, 9 yards per carry. And Jacardia Wright, 5.3 per carry, mainly due to his ability to not touch the ground. For Sam Darnold to have a good year, the Seahawks have to keep running like this. The good news is rookie guard Gray Zabel doesn't just have a perfect Farva mustache. He's pretty good at blocking, and a big reason the Seahawks are running well. I don't think I've seen a rookie guard get as much love as Zabel since Quentin Nelson in the preseason. Stock up, Drew Lock, who's been as good as any quarterback has been this preseason. He's making it really tough for Jalen Milroe to even sniff QB2. Locke was 10 of 12 for 2 touchdowns and a $129. I'd like to make the case that Locke is simply a great backup, a perfect backup, and I love that he's back in Seattle. He can come in, he can get his team a win. He did that in Seattle a couple seasons ago. He was 1-4 with the Giants, but torched the Colts. No team wants a backup starting a ton of games, and that's true for Locke, but he's got the kind of juice to steal a win if Darnold goes down for a game or 2.
Drew Lock has a horse cock!
Yeah, let's go! Let's get this shit!
And to be fair, I guess there are 2 elite backups in this game. Is what I would have said if Gardner Minshew wasn't a traitor! Boop. Today's episode is sponsored by Prize Picks and my sign-up code TGS. Here's the thing, Prize Picks is hitting me with big bonuses for every 200 sign-ups I generate. And honestly, I want them to get tired of paying me this season. So, if you live in one of the 45 states where Prize Picks is available and you like playing in these types of lineup builders, just use my code when you play. It makes a huge difference here. Make your first $5 deposit and Prize Picks will give you $50 in lineups. You pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less on their stat projections, and bang, you're set if your picks hit. You can win up to 25 times your money if your picks hit. No sharks, no salary caps, no confusing drafts, just you versus the numbers. In August, I love making picks for season-long stat projections. Your $5 gives you a season's worth of tracking. Normally, I'm an optimist, but these are my NFL fades on season-long passing yard stat totals. And I grouped together 4 quarterbacks who I think will have fewer passing yards than Prize Picks is projected. Sorry, Caleb, JJ, Sam, and Jalen. I love all of you, but I feel like the yards are just a tad high. I'd advise doing the opposite of what I do, but you can follow me on Prize Picks. My username is Thatsgoodsports, and I got that blue check mark. And I didn't have to pay for this one. Prize Picks has every sport you can think of. NFL, and you know the other sport, skateball? Nah, basket pigeon? The other sports. Just do football. Seriously, let's hit those first 200 signups by the end of the week. Stock down as a receiver, Sky Moore, who dropped a couple really bad balls in this game.
Sky Moore drops the pass! Sky Moore dropped the f***ing pass!
Stock up Sky Moore as a punt returner who took one back 88 yards. And the good news for Sky is that if you drop a punt, it's not an incompletion. Seahawks kicker Jason Myers also made a nice shoestring tackle to save another return from going to the house. Stock up the Lions receivers. Rookie Isaac Tesla came down with a head-turning touchdown catch. A Tesla succeeding in the Motor City? Guys, I think Elon's plan for world domination just started. Tesla is a lock to make the team, and now I'm all in on Jackson Meeks, who had another great game for the Lions. 7 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Just one ball thrown his way was not caught. Best bounce-back game goes to quarterback Quinn Ewers. Week 1 was rough for Quinn, but that's what he gets for trying to commit animal genocide. It wasn't just the mighty Quinn. Zach Wilson also looked better this week. The 2 quarterbacks combined for 3 TD passes in the Dolphins' 24-17 victory. Their top target was Theo Wease Jr. I am praying Theo Wease makes the team just so I can call him the Weasel and inject Pauly Shore into this season of winners and losers. Buddy.
I'm a weasel.
The Weasel. The Weasel. I can't even. How does he do that? That actually is talent. Moving on to the Panthers and Texans. Houston traded receiver John Mechie to the Eagles for tight end Harrison Bryant and a late round swapping of picks. Philly adds nice depth to their receiver room, and this has to mean the stock is rising for the Texans rookie ball grabbers Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Higgins had 1 catch. And you've got people calling him the second Nico Collins. If that's not true, Texans fans are setting themselves up to be hurt again, just like all of their receivers last year. Nick Chubb might get more work this season than we thought, as we have yet to see anything from Joe Mixon as he deals with a foot injury, and whether or not Joe Mixon will be ready to go for week 1 remains a mystery. Chubb, though, looks solid with just 5 carries. He averaged 5 yards per. Personally, I'm rooting for Joquavius Marks, so I can say Joquavius Marks every week this year. Stock down Andy Dalton, who's dealing with an elbow injury, which is what I, too, would have said after throwing this pass. Then we've got the Packers and Colts. A bunch of NFL fans are losing their minds because the Vikings and Patriots each now have a male cheerleader. As progressive as that is for the NFL, don't be fooled. They're doing that just so they have the freedom to say,
it's gonna be Beaner.
Which they dropped twice on us this weekend.
My man here, Beaner's having a tough one. He's putting that smile on his face.
It's going to be Beaner.
Jason Bean's going to get his first
Beaner's going to be in there.
This is bad timing.
Anthony Richardson completed his one throw per game that convinces us all that he's ready to get to the next phase of his QB evolution. Stock up, Colts rookie tight end. Tyler Warren needed just one grown man grab to convince Shane Steichen he's ready to go. Daniel Jones went 10 of 21 for 144 yards, but all I remember is this terrible overthrow in Tyler Warren's direction by Jones. Look, I'm rooting for Jones and Anthony Richardson, but I haven't seen anything that makes me believe their stock is rising. Last year's first-round tackle, Jordan Morgan for Green Bay, quietly showing a lot of progress this preseason. Stock up. He didn't give up a single pressure to the Jets or Colts starters. Stock down the Packers' other tackle, Anthony Belton, who was penalized 5 times in one quarter.
That offensive line coach, I would hate to be in his headset right now.
And running back Marshawn Lloyd, who is dealing with injuries yet again. Patriots Vikings stock continuing to rise. Pat's rookie running back Travion Henderson. Henderson would get just 4 carries on the day, but I think that's because Mike Vrabel knows a dog when he sees one. Just a really nice touchdown run early by Henderson. My new favorite name, though, is Efton Chisholm. If you F a ton, you might be lucky enough to release a Chisholm. A white slot receiver making a name for himself on the Patriots. Oh God, maybe New England is back.
Well, I'm not a math guy. What's 2 minus 70?
2 minus 70?
70.
I think you mean 70 minus 2.
Yeah, the same thing.
You're not a math guy.
Efton finished with 6 grabs, 71 yards, and a TD. Now stock up, deriving pleasure from pain like Mike Vrabel. I think there's a word for that. Yeah, you know the word. It's Efton Chisholm. Also, Mike Vrabel was breaking up fights at practice last week by jumping into the middle of the scrums. Holy hell, Vrabel's stock has never been higher. And there's a fun moment in this game. They had Kevin O'Connell on the mic from the sideline.
Excited about this play call, fellas. Fast motion. Oh, no. Fuck. Yeah. So right there, we got a guy in motion, and then we reset. So that'll go back to a 1st and 15.
Stock down, quarterback Sam Howell. J.J. McCarthy didn't play in Minnesota. Howell completed just 1 pass, 2 if you count the 1 to the other team. I trust KOC, but none of the Vikings quarterbacks looked great. Brett Rippon might be their best bet to back up J.J. McCarthy this year. Then we've got a big game, Cleveland versus Philadelphia, and I'm going to take it easy on quarterback Dillon Gabriel and say his stock is actually even. Yes, he had 2 turnovers in the Browns' victory over the Eagles, including a bad pick 6 in the second quarter. The pick 6 was tough, but Gabriel was spreading the ball around nicely, converting 3rd downs, getting rid of the ball quickly. You could even argue he was playing with more rhythm than Shedeur in his debut. Maybe we should blame the announcer, though, for cursing Dillon Gabriel, saying he's been very good so far, right as Dillon threw it to Philly.
Gabriel has been very good so far. And this one is picked off and going back the other way.
Now the preseason it's truly great for giving football fans horrifically beautiful entertainment. And the one thing we know about Dillon Gabriel is he is not here to entertain.
It's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors.
And just like the NFL Twitter account, I will not add any context to that statement.
They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins.
Speaking of entertainment, the Eagles were really giving it to us. That's the kind of play that will make you want to spend the night with Arthur Smith. And speaking of coaches, stock up, icing kickers in the preseason.
Blew up an extra point earlier.
Sirianni just called a field goal, a timeout to ice the kicker.
Ice him. He's smiling across the field at Kevin Stefanski.
That's future Hall of Famer Nick Sirianni annoying former Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski. Niners, Raiders, Brock Bowers, more like Moss Bowers. Actually, we better not call him that. The Raiders might accidentally trade him to the Patriots for a 4th round pick. Now, Bowers got some love in our 2024 recap. And again, if you want to be ready for the upcoming season, go check out that video after this one. But yeah, Bowers still looks good. Stock up, Ashton Genty actually gained yards this week. and probably got himself a preseason angry run scepter, which is the most prestigious honor you can earn for a fake award made up by a media person in a game that doesn't matter. When you get my revenge dagger, Ashton, it's going to actually mean something. Genty scored a touchdown and averaged 4.7 per carry and looked closer to the first overall pick we were expecting to see this season. Stock up kicker Jake Moody, who needed a boost, and he blasted a 59-yard game winner. Moody is kind of on the hot seat after the 49ers drafted him 2 years ago, but the reason San Fran had the chance to win was because of this clutch interception by Jalen Mahoney, who is definitely a player in their secondary. Stock down Tom Brady's hand-picked quarterback Cam Miller, who threw that pass. Stock down, someone has to say it. Pete Carroll's throwing motion is terrible. What? It is. It's not a good throwing motion. I don't care how old he is. He needs to work on that. Ravens, Cowboys, not a lot to see here, really. All of the Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones drama almost distracted me from the fact that the Cowboys didn't solve their running back problem this offseason. Stock down the entire Cowboys run game. We haven't seen projected starter and former Bronco running back Javonte Williams yet, but when Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, and Phil Maffa are all averaging 2 yards per carry, it doesn't convince me Dallas will be better than having the 6th fewest rushing yards like they did last season.
Hello. From the mailman. Welcome to the NFL.
Chargers, Rams. Why do they call him KLS?
KLS.
Because he kills the defense. Keandre Lambert Smith is a name to keep an eye on for the Chargers. It was nice to see rookie receiver Trey Harris emerge as the leading receiver for LA. 6 receptions for 85 yards. Quentin Johnston unfortunately suffered a pretty nasty concussion in this game. Chargers fans should like some of the depth they are seeing at the receiver position right now. While 2 of the nicest throws on their side of the ball came by Trey Lance, I think his stock slightly dipped, but overall, he's still having a career-saving preseason. Maybe not the most efficient game, but he did drop that dime to Trey Harris. Stock way up, though. Maybe the best preseason story so far. Quarterback Stetson Bennett, who got to play the entire game on Saturday and hit the end zone 3 times on his way to 324 passing yards. Not to mention an official FDR. It's rare a single quarterback plays an entire game in the preseason, and it's even more rare that that guy surpasses 300 passing yards. The Rams drafted Stetson in the 4th round back in 2023. He missed his entire rookie season, citing mental health reasons, and I think most of us assumed his career was done at that point. Now he looks ready to take over for the Rams offense whenever Matthew Stafford officially decides to hang it up. Also, stock up pre-diabetic guy interception. Not as cute as saying big man pick, is it, guys? No, but this play by Terrell Edwards got me more excited for the regular season than anything I've seen this week. Jets, Giants, stock down Justin Fields. I know the sample size is small for Fields so far as a Jet, but for a guy who's going into his 5th season completing 1 of 5 passes, even if the defensive coverage is very tight, it's a bit concerning, alarming, frightening, unnerving. Pick a verb, it probably works. And it looks even worse when the guy Fields lost his starting job to last season was on the other team doing this in the same game. Quarterback Russell Wilson giveth, and Russell Wilson taketh. This is my warning to Giants fans. Wilson's deep ball is perfect. It's beautiful. It's the only thing he still does that is elite, though. And to be fair to Russell Wilson, his interception might be on the receiver for cutting in the wrong way. If Russ is throwing you the ball, always cut towards the sideline. That's the only place Russ wants to fucking throw it, and that's where you better be as a receiver. Now, I'm not saying his stock is down, but edge rusher and rookie Abdul Carter got absolutely wrecked on his blind side. Everyone was calling this his welcome to the NFL moment. Now, I won't say he's been properly welcomed to the NFL until he has a key sack taken away from him in the 4th quarter because he accidentally tackled one of the elite tier quarterbacks slightly too hard. Abdul's trash-talking game, though, mid-season form, as he said, that might be the only highlight for the Jets all season. Stock continuing to rise, quarterback Jackson Dart, who may be revitalizing my hopes and dreams for tight end Greg the Leg Dulcich. Historically speaking, tight ends named Greg are very good. Dart put together his second nice game this preseason, firing incompletions just twice, going 14-16 for 137 yards and 2 TDs and netting a passer rating of 123. It's weird to say, but the Giants really do appear to be in a good situation. As good as Dart has looked, there's no rush to start him. Wilson can begin the season, and once that has run its course, and it will run its course, Dart can enter the lineup as New York's savior. Tampa, Pittsburgh, stock up the Buccaneers skill players. If there's such a thing as having too many weapons, the Buccaneers are going to show it to us this year. I have high hopes for running back Bucky Irving heading into his sophomore season, but holy shit, he's got an elite level of receiving ability that I was not fully aware of. Another second-year player, receiver Jalen McMillan, proved he might have the strongest neck in the NFL. Emeka Egbuka may have only had one reception, but sometimes all you need to see is one touchdown grab like this in the corner of the end zone to know a dude is ready to have an impact on the field. For the Steelers, I thought Caleb Johnson and Roman Wilson and first-round pick Derek Harmon had solid outings. Wilson was injured for all of 2024, and I think he's a player who needs to be good for Aaron Rodgers to really maximize the Steelers' offense in the passing game. Roman flashed his big play ability, getting 72 yards on just 2 receptions. Caleb Johnson had 11 carries and competently turned that into 50 rushing yards. Nothing crazy for Johnson, but I think he looks a lot like Najee Harris. Derek Harmon, who the Steelers drafted instead of a quarterback, was the only defender to record a sack this weekend for Pittsburgh. And then we've got my Denver Broncos. Stock up the Broncos offseason. Denver's first offensive series and 3 consecutive plays. We got a taste of 3 new Broncos. Evan Engram, who ripped it for a 58-yard gain. Then it's rookie Pat Bryant getting wide open for 29, and rookie running back R.J. Harvey slipped through a hole so small not even Kyler Murray could get through it for a touchdown. 2 rookies and a free agent signing covering 97 yards and 3 plays for a touchdown is like a wet fever dream. And no, I won't explain why I'm a grown man having wet fever dreams. I'm also giving Jarrett Stidham a stock up. He's handsome. He's slippery. He fits right into my wet fever dreams. This game is tricky though because neither team rolled out the starters, but the Broncos depth players whooped that bird ass, putting up 562 yards of offense to Arizona's 135. Troy Franklin showcased great hands. Drops are the biggest thing he needed to improve upon after last season. So you got rookie Pat Bryant looking like he could be a monster in the middle to convert every third down this year. Franklin stock's going up. Everything went well for Denver. And another Bronco I think is poised for a big season. Second-year edge defender Jonah Ellis. He was perfect against the run and generated a good amount of quarterback pressure. Stock down? Fact-checking. Journalism. I won't lie, when I saw the local broadcast air this fake Micah Parsons quote about wanting to play for the Broncos, I was confused.
You got one of the best defensive ends saying Broncos have a real chance at the Super Bowl, so don't get mad at him too. Wow.
Hello. From the mailman.
Welcome to the NFL.
His real dream, of course, is for Jerry Jones to hire a normal general manager. Jags, Saints, stock down, Tyler Shucks' footwork. Tripping over your own feet is not a great way to boost your Madden rating. Just ask old Trevor Lawrence. Shuck's stock currently stagnant. I thought he got unfairly dogged for his performance. He didn't do anything highlight worthy except for that gaffe, but he didn't make terrible decisions. Sometimes just not doing the dumb shit is okay for the quarterback position for a rookie. Spencer Rattler, though, stock up. He looked better than he did last week. He went 18-24, was a yard shy of 200 with 1 pick and a game-tying touchdown drive to end the game. His worst pass was indeed his pick, which came in the red zone. His best pass was this FDR to Mason Tripton down the right sideline. Tripton raised his stock with 100 receiving yards. If I know anything about Saints receivers, it's that they will all be hurt and we will see a lot of Tripton this year. Maybe the best catch of the weekend belongs to Saints tight end Trayton Welch. Ignore how funny this photo is and focus on how he made one of the most contested catches you're ever going to see. Stock down, the Saints. If all of their quarterbacks are bad this season, I think we know why. Kellen Moore has them practicing with fucking rugby balls. What's next, Kellen? Tennis rackets for your corners? Bowling balls instead of helmets? Maxi pads for your centers? That last one might be a good idea. Stock up Caleb Williams, who put together a great opening drive and a strong start for the Bears offense. Caleb went 6 of 10 for a $130, a touchdown, and a passer rating of 130. Most importantly, I think Caleb put the throwing net behind him, something Odell Beckham Jr. was never able to do. After being the most scrutinized quarterback in training camp, this simply has to be a sigh of relief for Bears fans. He looked competent. Luther Burden impressed Bears fans too by his newfound devotion to devotion to blocking. He and Olamide Zacchaeus will round out a very respectable core of receivers in Chicago. Stock down, Joey Bosa yawning because it's past his bedtime. If Bosa has 1 sack in primetime this year, I will be shocked. Shocked. Stock down Bill's safeties, Cole Bishop and DeMar Hamlin. They did not play well, and Bishop is a rookie, okay, but he's supposed to start ahead of DeMar Hamlin. This gave me no confidence that the Bills safeties are ready to slow down the Chiefs in the playoffs. Stock up this play. The Bears, who in 2024 were not known for lucky bounces, might have the dumb, silly shape of the football on their side now. I've never seen a quarterback successfully throw an incomplete fumble backwards to himself, but now we all have. And part of me thinks this is a trick play specifically designed by Ben. My stock is going up further than my Johnson. Now, never read too much into a team beating up on another team who didn't play any of their starters. But for Bears fans, seeing their offense amass over 500 yards is probably what this guy felt like taking his first sip of water after being stranded in the desert for 9 days and drinking nothing but his own urine and eating raw bats. Yeah, that's how bad it's been for the Chicago Bears and their fans.
Hello! From the mailman! Welcome to the NFL!
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports Week 2 Preseason Recap. Again, the 2024 full season recap up on this channel now. Go check that out. Don't forget to subscribe here and to sign up at Prize Picks with my code TGS.